Hello folks, Wolf Ninja here bringing you another nerdy video. This is part 2 of my redone sorcerer video with more info and more detail, especially now since we're going to focus on the two books, both Xanathar's Guide and the Player's Handbook. Now in part 1 we talked about the vanilla sorcerer and what the sorcerers can do and involving their meta magic. There's one thing I did forget though. You can use the empowered spell even if you've already used a different meta magic option during casting of the spell. So therefore, when you want to do the reroll damage roll, you can do that combined with, say, careful spell, subtle spell, or twin spell. So I just wanted to clear all that up. And oh my god, I am boiling. We're starting to hit the weather heat now. Summer heat. Okay, first off, we're now going to be in this part 2. We're going to talk about the sorcerer's origins revolving around from the Player's Handbook, and we'll try and cover one from Xanathar's Guide. Now, here's what it says about the draconic bloodline. Now, remember the sorcerer's origins. It means your character has some sort of blessing or some sort of ancestry that has given them the powers of magic. This is the draconic. Somehow either you or someone in your family has done something to do with dragons that has given you dragon blood. Your innate magic comes from draconic magic that was mingled with your blood or that of your ancestors. Most often, sorcerers with this origin trace their descent back to a mighty sorcerer of an ancient times, who made a bargain with a dragon, or who might even have claimed a dragon parent. Some of these bloodlines are well established in the world, but most are obscure. Any given sorcerer could be the first of a new bloodline as a result of a pact or some other exceptional circumstances. Now, when you take this class at level, when you pick this origin from level 1, you have a dragon ancestor. You choose one type of dragon of your ancestor. The damage type associated with each dragon is used by the features you gain later. Your options are, of course, the chromatic and metallic options. Black, blue, brass, bronze, copper, gold, green, red, silver, and of course white. Now, the damage types are as follows: black, acid; blue, lightning; brass, fire; bronze, lightning; copper, acid; gold, fire; green, poison; red, fire; silver, cold; and white, cold. You can speak and read Draconic. Additionally, whenever you make a charisma check while interacting with dragons, your proficiency bonus is doubled if it applies to the check. So therefore, your character also gets quite a good bit from just your dragon ancestor. You also get something called dragon resilience. As magic flows through your body, it causes physical traits of your dragon's ancestors to emerge. At first level, your hit point maximum increases by 1 and increases by 1 again whenever you gain a level in this class. Additionally, parts of your skin are covered by a thin sheen of dragon-like scales. When you are not wearing armor, your AC equals 13 plus your dexterity modifier. This is why most sorcerers that I've known. Sorry, folks. Sorry about my dogs. But yeah, this is why most players that I've talked to have often gone with the draconic path, because mechanically it is very powerful, and I cannot argue with that with such results. But to me, that's not the main thing people should be taking into consideration when they make their character. Sorry again, my dogs are just really annoying. There's probably a bird or something that's grabbing their attention. They're at the back, and again, because of the heat, I have to have my window open, otherwise I'll be burning. Anyway, at 6th level, you get Elemental Affinity. Starting at 6th level, when you cast a spell that deals damage of the type associated with your draconic ancestry, add your charisma modifier to that damage. At the same time, you can spend 1 sorcery point to gain resistance to that damage type for 1 hour. So essentially, whenever you cast, say you cast Scorching Ray, and your Dragon Ancestor is a fire, you can spend 1 sorcery point to increase the damage, I believe, and you then gain resistance. Am I correct? No, you just gain resistance. The extra damage is just natural. Now, at 14th level, you gain the ability to sprout a pair of dragon wings from your back, gaining a flying speed equal to your current speed. You can create these wings as a bonus action on your turn, and they last until you dismiss them as a bonus action on your turn. Okay, so they're so they can last as long as you want. That is really cool. You can't manifest your wings while wearing armor unless the armor is made to accommodate them, and your clothing will not make. And clothing not made to accommodate your wings might be destroyed when you manifest them. So literally, you're literally sprouting wings. These are not magical in any form or form of thing. They literally grow out of your body, which will cause clothes or armor to be clothes more likely to be destroyed. Armor would just most likely prevent them from coming out. So that is cool, and it lasts for as long as you want. So if you don't want to always have wings out, there you go. Now, at 18th level, you get Draconic Presence. Begin at 18th level, you can channel the dread presence of your dragon ancestor, causing those around you to become awestruck or frightened. As an action, you can spend 5 sorcery points to draw on this power and exude an aura of awe or fear, your choice, to a distance of 60 feet. For 1 minute or until you lose your concentration, as if you were casting a concentration spell. Each hostile creature that starts its turn in this aura must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be charmed if you choose awe, or frightened if you choose fear, until the aura ends. Any creature that succeeds on the saving throw is immune to your aura for 24 hours. So there you have it, folks. That is the Draconic Origin Sorcerer, most often done with Dragonborn characters. But again, as I said, I've seen it done many times just because players like the idea of just playing a sorcerer that has really good armor. Now, let's get on to Wild Magic. Now, this one is a bit chaotic, folks, and I'll probably want to shorthand this by just showing you the table that comes up. Your innate magic comes from wild forces of chaos that underline the order of creation. You might have been endured exposure by some forms of raw magic, perhaps through planning your portal leading to Limbo, the elemental planes, or the mysterious far realm. Perhaps you were blessed by a powerful fey creature, or marked by a demon. Or your magic could be a fluke of your birth with no apparent cause or reason. However it came to be, this chaotic magic churns within you, waiting for any outlet. Now, starting from first level, you get 2 features, Wild Magic Surge and Tides of Chaos. Starting when you choose this origin at first level, your spellcasting can unleash surges of untamed magic. Immediately after you cast a sorcerer spell of first level or higher, the DM can. Note, the DM can. Alright, folks, so that means your DM may not have you roll on the table, but be prepared that they can do it on any first level spell or higher. Can roll a d20. If you roll a 1, roll on the Wild Magic Surge table to create a random magical effect. Tide of Chaos. Starting at first level, you can manipulate the forces of chance and chaos to gain advantage on one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Once you do so, you must finish a long rest before you can use this feature again. Any time before you regain the use of this feature, the DM can have you roll on the Wild Magic Surge table immediately after you cast a sorcerer spell of first level or higher. You regain the use of this feature. So you can regain the Tide of Chaos in 1 or 2 ways. 1, you can do your long rest, and 2, you can cast a spell of first level or higher. But the problem is, you have to cast a first level spell, which could trigger Wild Magic Surge. And again, before either case, whether long rest or you're casting a first level spell, you get Wild Magic Surge. So by casting a first level spell to recharge it, you're possibly rolling on the table twice. That is really dangerous, depending on some of the effects. Starting at 6th level, you have the ability to twist fate using your wild magic. When another creature you can see makes an attack roll, ability check, or a saving throw, you can use your reaction to spend 2 sorcery points and roll a d4, and apply the number rolled as a bonus or penalty, your choice, to that creature's roll. Well, where's the next page? There it is. Sorry. Trying to see where that went. You can do so after the creature rolls, but before any effects of the roll occur. Controlled Chaos. At level 14, you gain modicum of control over the surges of your wild magic. Whenever you roll on the wild magic surge table, you can roll twice and use either number. That's handy. It allows you to pick what things happen. And again, as you level up, you may eventually begin to memorize what the effects are. Spell Bombardment. Begin at 18th level. The harmful energy of your spell intensifies. When you roll damage for a spell and roll the highest number possible on any of the dice, choose one of those dice. Roll it again and add that roll to the damage. You can use this feature only once per battle. So that's handy. So if you roll a 6, anytime you roll the max number of a die, you basically get to increase the damage again. So yeah, that's great. So let's say you roll Fireball, that's 6d6. Let's say you roll 5d6, that's 5 extra d6 you get to roll to that spell, which is ridiculous because it's really powerful. Now folks, that is at level 18. Let's get to the Wild Magic Surge. Now for this, I'm afraid I'm going to switch to Display Capture. There we go. And that's because there's so many effects there and I would like to read them out with you. Okay, we're just going to keep it there. Okay. So yeah, when you roll on this, you roll a D100, and at some point I will go into how to read D100s. I believe I've been using them correctly. If I'm not, please put down a comment in the description of that video when I get to it. At some point I will be making a video talking about some of the dice of D&D. Roll on. Okay, so when you roll on this table, you roll a D100. That's a combination of 2 dice. There is, in fact, a D100, but it's a ball. And so many players argue, is it actually even good? I tried using one once. It's very unclear what number's on top. So I personally rather just do the 2 dice. And at some point I will show you what those dice look like. If you roll a 1 or 2, roll on this table at the start of each of your turns for the next minute, ignoring this result on subsequent rolls. That is a very bad one. Like, that is really bad. Because again, well, it's good or bad depending on some of the abilities. As you can see from this image, folks, that yourselves, there are some good ones, but I'm going to read out each one. If you roll a 3 to 4, is it only 2 numbers? Yes, it is. It's 2 numbers every time. On a 3 to 4, for the next minute, you can see any invisible creature if you have line of sight of it. Pretty good. 5 to 6, a Modron, chosen and controlled by the DM, appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you, and then disappears 1 minute later. That can be useful depending on how the Modron reacts to you. 7 or 8. Now again, this is really cool, especially when you get to higher levels. You cast Fireball as a 3rd level spell centered on yourself. Oh wait, no, that means you're caught in the explosion. Oh shit. Yeah, okay, so that's not a good one. It's great for break glass in case of emergency, but sadly you don't get the pick. 9 to 10, you cast Magic Missile as a 5th level spell. Mind you folks, this is ignoring your spell limitations. For example, at level 1, you can cast Magic Missile as a 5th level. That means you can target anyone and they'll take some serious damage from that. Roll a D. Oh god no. Oh god no. Okay, so it looks like some of these actually have a permanent effect. 11 to 12. You roll a D10. Your height changes by the number of inches equal to the roll. If the roll is odd, you shrink. If the roll is even, you grow. Wow. You cast Confusion centered on yourself. I have no idea what that spell does. I don't like the sound of these like on yourself things. For the next, alright, so 15 to 16. For the next minute, you regain 5 hit points at the start of each of your turns. Not bad. 17 to 18. You grow a long beard made of feathers that remain until you sneeze, at which point the feathers explode out from your face. 19 to 20. You cast Grease centered on yourself. 21 to 22. Creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against the next spell you cast in the next minute that involves a saving throw. Pretty good. 23 to 24. Your skin turns a vibrant shade of blue. A remove curse spell can end this effect. Oh shit, that's permanent. Okay folks, I'm afraid we're going to just go on a short break here. I'll be back shortly. I'm sorry about that, folks. I am back. Alright, let's see, where was I? Oh yes, 25 to 26. An eye appears on your forehead for the next minute. During that time, you have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. That's not bad. Certainly can be useful. For the next 27 to 28, for the next minute, all your spells with a casting time of 1 action have a casting time of 1 bonus action. (29 to 30), you teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see. Where's my mouse? There we go. 31 to 32. You are you are transported to the astral plane until the end of your next turn, after which time you return to the space you previously occupied or the nearest unoccupied space if that space is occupied. 33 to 34. To maximize the damage of the next damaging spell you cast that within the next minute. That's pretty useful. Oh no. Roll a d10. Your age changes by the number of years equal to that roll. If the roll is odd, you get younger. Minimum 1 year old. Oh wow, imagine that. So, you roll a d10. You slowly get younger and younger. You reach the age of 9. You roll a 9. Or a 7. Holy shit. If the roll is even, you get older. 37 to 38. 1d6 flimps controlled by the DM in an unoccupied space within 60 feet of you are frightened of you. They vanish after 1 minute. Okay, that's weird. 39 to 40. You regain 2 d10 hit points. 41 to 42. You turn into a potted plant until the start of the next turn. While a plant, you are incapacitated and have vulnerability to all damage. If you drop to 0 hit points, your pop breaks and your form reverts. 43 to 44. For the next minute, you can teleport up to 20 feet as a bonus action on each of your turns. Not bad. 45 to 46. You can cast Levitate on yourself. 47 to 48. A unicorn controlled by the DM appears in a space within 5 feet of you, then disappears 1 minute later. 49 to 50. You can't speak for the next minute. When you try, pink bubbles float out of your mouths. Okay. 51 to 52. A spectral shield hovers near you for the next minute, granting you a +2 bonus to your AC, and you gain immunity to magic missile. 53 to 54. You are immune to being intoxicated by alcohol for the next 5d6 days. 55 to 56. Your hair falls out but grows back within 24 hours. 57 to 58. For the next minute, any flammable object you touch that isn't being worn or carried by another creature bursts into flames. 59 to 60. You regain your lowest level expended spell slot. 61 to 62. For the next minute, you must shout when you speak. 63 to 64. You cast Fog Cloud centered on yourself. 65 to 66. Up to 3 creatures you choose within 30 feet of you take 4d10 lightning damage. 67 to 68. You are frightened by the nearest creature until the end of your next turn. 69 to 70. Each creature within 30 feet of you becomes invisible for the next minute. The visibility ends on a creature when it attacks or casts a spell. 71 to 72. You gain resistance to all damage for the next minute. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens if you roll 100. 73 to 74. A random creature within 60 feet of you becomes poisoned for 1d4 hours. You glow 75 to 76. You glow a bright light in a 30-foot radius for the next minute. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of you is blinded until the end of its next turn. You can cast 77 to 78. You cast Polymorph on yourself. If you fail the saving throw, you turn into a sheep for the spell's duration. 79 to 80. Illusionary butterflies and flower petals flutter in the air within 10 feet of you for the next minute. Okay. 81 to 82. You can take 1 additional action immediately. 83 to 84. Each creature within 30 feet of you takes 1d10 necrotic damage. You regain hit points equal to the sum of the necrotic damage dealt. 85 to 86. You cast Mirror Image. Sorry, notifications. 87 to 88. You can cast Fly on a random creature within 60 feet of you. 89 to 90. You become invisible for the next minute. During that time, other creatures can't hear you. The visibility ends if you attack or cast a spell. Oh wow. If you die within the next minute, you immediately come back to life as if by the reincarnate spell. So basically you die, oh well, you're basically Doctor Who. You die, you suddenly, instantly change into a new form. 93 to 94. Your size increases by 1 status category for the next minute. 95 to 96. You and all creatures within 30 feet of you gain vulnerability to piercing damage for the next minute. 97 to 98. You are surrounded by faint ethereal music for the next minute. 99 to 100, which is double O, all O's. You regain all expended sorcery points. Well, that's it, folks. That is the vanilla books. There we go. That is all the vanilla sorcerer origins. Now, in my next video, I'm going to talk about the last 3, which are new from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. The Divine Soul, or Favourite Soul, depending on which one you want to call it. The Storm Sorcerer origin. And then last but not least, the Shadow Sorcerer. And we'll be back. May the Force be with you, and remember, roll for initiative.